So they've taken away all of our constitutional rights. We live under the terror of arbitrary arrest and detention, torture, loss of citizenship, all that's occurring secretly. It is exactly 1984. We are warring constantly, exactly like 1984. We have a terrorist bogeyman, exactly like 1984. Everything is exactly like 1984, except exactly how they lay out the proles and the outer party, the inner party. But basically, the outer party are white collar workers, and the proles are all the people I interviewed on the street. So we can get our country back. We can fix everything. It's not going to be that hard. People want to do it, they just don't know how. And you'll notice that really I'm kind of apolitical about this. In other words, it's based on just very basic principles, which is just to restore our rights. And in so doing, you have to expose what's going on. Because you can't just restore the rights and ignore why they're being taken from you. And, I talked about, did this sort of dictatorship occur in 2001 or in 63? And so I really think that Eisenhower's warning when he left office, when he said, beware of the military industrial complex, and then Kennedy getting killed 3 years later, makes it possible that that's really where it kicked in hard. And I would say the other evidence is that the last declared war we had was World War II. So it would have been at some point in these illegal wars, because it's not right to send young men to die and not even have the guts to declare war. Just a bunch of old men sitting on their butts pulling a lever. They send 100,000 kids out to get maimed and slaughtered, and they won't even allow them to be in a war, which technically means that they could be subject to war crimes tribunals for every war we fought since then. Because if it's an illegal war by American law, and you look at Nuremberg, everybody who goes out there, they need a declaration of war to feel like they got a license to kill. You can't kill people if you're not in a war with a gun. That's called murder. So it's not right to these young men, and they can feel it in their guts. And that's one of the reasons they go nuts when they come home. But we can fix all this. So this is what I believe. I believe that what you have to do is basically print out some pamphlets, and anywhere you go, hand them out to people and talk to them about whatever the latest excess of the Military Correctional Corporation of Central North America is. So, and then you mainly you're going to be heard by working class and lower class people. They don't want our money spent on constant warfare. They want good schools. So as I said previously, I think I would like to, as a retribution or a punishment for having tried to do a coup d'etat, that we have 32,000 a year per student instead of 8,000 per year per student. We can still do everything libertarian and all that, whatever you guys want. But we basically, the dream of some of the greatest Americans was America with the schools that are the envy of the world. So all we want our rights back. We want to have the best schools in the world. We want to live in peace. If we could do that, we would be the greatest country in the world again. So once you print out these little pamphlets and hand them out to people, you find out what they need, and you create a support network. So a lot of these people need jobs, houses, or information, education, training, and just having and they're sort of stuck. So through this adversity, we can get together. So I went out and interviewed today about the Libya war. Let's see, I went to Kaiser. That's where I talked to people. As far as I can recollect, other than telling the lady at the local cigarette grocery store some more hair-raising stories based on this investigation. But I went to Kaiser, and there were about 7 people, 10 people I talked to in the pharmacy while I was waiting. Because this guy, Sukant Chandan, he said, where do you stand in Libya? And he made me feel so guilty that I was responsible for this. I just can't take it anymore. I was not politically active really since I was 19, other than Barack Obama's campaign and bottle initiatives. Basically, from 19 to 47, I wasn't politically active. I did not mean this to happen. Um, I just didn't like the Libya war, and and now I found out that we're living in a totalitarian state, and it's completely scientifically provable. So we just get people together into a support network, and we have to mobilize, and we have to be ready to go to jail. It's what this guy Christopher Hedges says. I certainly hope we don't go to jail. And I don't know that we have to go to jail, but what he says, it's not important who gets elected. What's important is what we're doing to make them respect us. respect their citizens, and fear our retribution if they violate their oaths. I think that's perfectly reasonable. And I don't mean to suggest violence, but I do mean to suggest that we should have the right to a fair trial. We should not be spending all our money bombing places and complaining that we don't have enough security. I mean, what a lame argument that is. And in the meantime, nobody knows it's happening because the schools are completely screwed and the job market's so bad. Poor people aren't reading the newspaper. They probably can't afford it. And I don't know why they don't know why we're in Libya. So I was in the pharmacy. I met an older black lady who really knew her stuff, and I told her that, she said, "Oh yeah, I know about that. You can learn that on the internet." And I said, "Well, you should check out Russia Today, just because we have to go outside of our system to get a critique of our system, so that we're not hearing it from the same voices all the time." So it's a wonderful saving thing is we got this internet to hear. I wouldn't know what I know if I couldn't hear from outside this country. I would just be screwed. So thank God for it. And so I think from there, how you exactly mobilize, if we could do it, I don't know beyond that. Good night.